Hi, my name is Katinka. I'm the seamstress at the cottage, and today I'm going to show you some things that I've made, some things I'm working on, and how to make your own little scarf. Seamstress at the Cottage is a channel where we talk about knitting, sewing, and sometimes life in between, and I am so happy to see you here with me. So let's first jump in on what am I wearing. This was a wool sweater, lamb's wool, that was moth-eaten. My friend threw it out, so I rescued it. I darned some of the holes. The top was terrible from the moths. Cut it off, picked up the stitches, and knitted this collar. I think it's called a collar. So this is a free pattern. You can find, I think it's a Drops design. If you know what it is, please put it in the comments below for those of us who don't know, like me, or who would like to knit it for themselves. This is a really easy one, and what I loved about it, it's only 2 colors at a time. And I can't tell you how many compliments I get on this sweater. And that's something you can remember. Go into the second-hand stores and see if you can find old wool old wool sweaters that you can maybe upcycle by doing something like this. It is really so much fun, and it's not that commitment of hours and hours of stocking knit, which you usually have with one of these sweaters. Next, I am working on this sweater. I started with the sleeves because I always like to use the sleeves as my sample or swatch, because then I can also see if the pattern is working. The second one is almost there, a few more rows to go, and I can't remember, this is a pattern I found on, or not a pattern, I found a picture on, I think it was on Pinterest, and I think it's beautiful. So it also is a bottom up color work sweater, and I'm just going to use these 2 colors, and the pattern at the top is like 4 rows, if I remember right, of different little pictures. So if I can find it, I'll put the link below. Otherwise, you'll just have to go with me as we go and see how it looks like when it's done. Then I did this dress, and I can't tell you how happy I am with it. Some of you might know, if you've been here a while, and there's also a video of me making a insertion lace top by hand. I love insertion lace. I've always loved insertion lace. And so I have this Swiss dot, or I had this Swiss dot fabric. It's a cotton lawn, which I found in America in 2017. Now at that stage, my finances was transferred from South African rand into American dollars. I did not have a lot of spending money, and so I was so chuffed. I looked at all the fabrics. My friend took me to this fabric shop in Rhode Island, and I looked at all the fabrics, and there was no way I could afford it. It was really just beyond my price range. And so I came across this Swiss dot cotton fabric lawn, and it was, I thought it was 5, but I think it worked out at 5 rands or 15 rands a meter. So I think it was like $1.50 a meter. And I was so excited because I was able to afford 4 meters. I bought it in yards, so I think I bought 5 yards. And then my friend Cheryl I'll put her link below if I can remember, but Cheryl gave me this lace. And it is the most beautiful antique lace that she found in I think it was a vintage shop, she said. And she shared it, she kept half of it and she gave half to me. And there wasn't exactly enough to finish the dress. So in the back, I used some of the fabric that I used in the front part. And I just love how it was that thing of connecting what I have to make the dress in the end. You will also see on one of these rows, I added in a piece to make it big enough up there. There was a little bit of the top one of this one left over, and to make this second row long enough, I had to add in a little piece. And so I just love this dress. I think it is so beautiful. I have a piece of silk chamois, which I want to make a petticoat out of. Petticoat. Can't speak today. And I think at this stage I'm just wearing it with one of the petticoats that I have, but I think with the silk chamois it will really be so pretty. I'm still going to do a video of how I made the dress, and then I'll put it up and you will see it. But I am so chuffed of this dress. The only thing I still want to change is I really don't like, oh, there's a fret stuff. I need to go and cut these off. I don't like the elastic. And I do it every time. I always go around taking elastics, putting it in, because by the time I get to there's another fret, I need to cut that off as well. By the time I get to the sleeve part, this part, I am so fed up with the thing that I just want to finish it. And then I put the elastic in, and then I always have to go and unpick it. So in future, if you hear me say, I'm just going to put an elastic around the arm, please remind me in the comments, Katinka, you don't like elastics in arms. So, yeah, but I love it. So that one thing, and also it ends right there. And it's an awkward length because when I bend my arm, it moves up. So what I want to do is unpick the little pin tucks on here, make a cuff with pin tucks so it's a bit longer, but a loose one, and then add it onto this. So I need to still do that. And then this dress will be ready to wear. But the only problem is we're going into winter. So winter, it's Cape Town. Winter where it's not too rainy, you can get away with layers and stuff. But with all the rain here, this will just get soaking wet and I will be freezing cold. But I might still wear it on sunny or on non-rainy days. It doesn't need to be sunny. It can be cloudy, but it just needs to be non-rainy days with a nice cardigan and some tights underneath. I think that will look perfect for winter. And I am so excited about this dress being done. I can't tell you. I've literally been dreaming about it. I was waiting for the right lace. So when Cheryl sent me the lace when I was living in America, oh my goodness, it was the best day ever. And yeah, finally finished it. Now let's talk about this little scarf. I have some cones of yarn that a friend gave me. And I've used it over the years. I can't tell you how many things. I used to make like these thin, almost spiderwebby, big shawls, like 2 meters long, and I would give it to friends for their birthday. I just want to see it. I see they still have Siras. Mario Nico Silly. So it looks like it was a Pistoia. Looks like it was like an Italian company. My friend's mom got this yarn and then she gave it to me. Sari yarn. They call it Sari yarn. Don't know. Yarn Conti. No idea what it is. I do like the feel. It's got a bit of a shine to it. Let's burn it. You can always see what it is when you burn it. Anyway, let's burn the yarn and see what happens. Ow, it's synthetic. It literally melts into a bowl. But it's very old. I think it's like from the 80s. And yeah, I've just been using it. And it's good that it's synthetic because the person I'm giving it to is not real wool worthy. Not a lot of people in my life are real wool worthy. Not a lot of people around that I know. If you're a knitter, you're fine, but anybody else, not so sure. It had a fret, we just burned it away. So, this is a lady that's in my home group at church, and she loves these scarves. So, I made her this one. And she doesn't understand about real wool. So, for that reason, I made it out of this, because I know she can put it in the washing machine and it's fine. Now, the first thing I want to say is, there's a lot of patterns out there, and they're very cute. And I don't say don't go and get it, but sometimes my head works like this. I look at something and I'm like, oh, that's really simple. I'm not going to pay this amount to buy the pattern because I can figure it out. So, but you do you. For me, that's what worked. So what I did is I cast it on. I took three threads. They're very thin. They're lace yarn, very fine lace. So they ended up being about sport weight. And I knitted it on a 4.5 millimeter needles. And I cast it on 250 stitches. And then, to get the long, thin shape, when I get to the end of the row, I would knit 2 stitches together. Then when I turn it around, I will knit 2 stitches together and then cast it off onto the next stitch. And that gave me this beautiful slow gradient. So it's like I would say it's like a maybe 35-degree angle that it formed. And then I just kept on going until it was finished, and I got to the end and I sewed all the thread away. And that's literally it. So you literally just knit. When you get to the end of the row, you knit 2 together. When you turn it around, you knit 2 together and cast it over to the next one. And like I said, you keep on going until you get to no stitches left over at all. And it is actually really cute. I'm considering making myself one as well. So you can wear it like that, or you can turn it around. I see a lot of people are wearing it like this. And yeah, I think she'll like it. And you can make it bigger or smaller depending on how many stitches you cast on at the top. Another thing I've been busy with is I have been spinning. So spinning to me is my therapy. I just love it when I have time. Oh, this is so soft. Oh, I wish you could feel it. This is the most beautiful merino yarn. A few years ago, I was on a farm with my friends in the mountains in the Karoo, and they have merino sheep, and they gave me a fleece. And so I'm slowly spinning it up. This is sport weight. I'm going to make enough for a sweater quantity, and then the rest I will spin up into maybe DK weight. I'll see when I get there. But I am really excited about this. This was what the fleece was washed, but these skeins have not been washed. I actually need to do that because they take time to dry. And I've just been sitting and brushing out the yarn, preparing the yarn. Somebody said to me, you have to like take the fleece that you've washed and slap it on material. I don't know what that is called. I need to figure it out because that takes the plant matter out, and apparently it's easier. So I'm going to try that. But I've been having so much fun. So much fun. And then I also knitted my sister a pair of leg warmers. Because, as I said, we're going into winter, and she really struggles with winter. She gets so cold. So a friend gave me a fleece from England, and I always forget what the sheep was called. I think it was Blue Face Leicester or Ronadale, something like that. But it's much harder than the merino. So I had some of that left over because I knitted her a hat. I showed you last time, but let me show it again because it is so pretty. So that's the yarn, and this is her hat. I've now washed it and dried it, and it came out so nice. But oh, it's so nice because look, it can come very low over her ears. And my sister is coming from England to visit soon, and then I can send it back to this friend so that she can have her hat. But she will only be able to wear it in winter because it's really warm. But as you can see, this is it's got longer staples. That's the length of the staples, where merino, the longest ones is like that. So merino is much softer as well. And so I had some of this left over, and I just mixed it with the merino. But this is yellow, and when you wash this, it's like a white, almost a blue-white color. So it doesn't look that great, but my sister loves it. Plans. I'm not making any plans at the moment because as I make the plans, it just changed. Like this week, I got a phone call from a bride. She's getting married next Friday, and her dress arrived. She ordered it on one of the Chinese websites. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look great either. So I'm busy adding some boning, making it shorter, giving her straps, adding some bling. And then her little girl her daughter is going to be her flower girl. I'm busy with her dress as well, just adding some lace. So it keeps me busy, and then I don't really get to the stuff for me, but it pays my bills, so I can't complain, and I need to sit and do those before I can do for me because the cats need their cat food. So, and the rent needs to be paid. So that is all the things I've made. So I've been using my knitting as a way of just relaxing, because sewing is work at the moment. Usually sewing is my therapy, but sometimes sewing is work, and that's okay. I love that I can do the things that I love. In other news, I'm still learning how to trade, loving it. Still going with my life coaching. Had a new client last week, and I'm still doing some online marketing and loving life. There are days when I don't love it that much just because of my own issues or things going on, but mostly I am excited that I'm allowed to live in a time such as this. I know it's scary times for a lot of us, but you know what I'm just learning is when I get to that point where I'm really scared and really overwhelmed, it really helps if I pray. But I just want to thank you all for just coming along with the flow. No matter what's happening that day, you are all so kind and so gracious, and I really appreciate you for that. And I know this is a Sunday that the video is going up, but I've just decided I'm not going to try and do it on certain days anymore because it just doesn't work. The question for today is, what is the thing that you do at the moment that feels like therapy? That thing that calms your mind, that relaxes you, that forces you to just slow down. What is that? What is the thing that you love to do at the moment that does that for you? I would really love to hear. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.